Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video we are going to understand LeetCode problem number 3494. So if you remember study problem, it's a similar kind of problem, but little changes are there. Okay, so the question is saying that find the minimum amount of time to brew portions. Okay, so what is saying that you are given two integers arrays skills and mana of length n and m respectively, and in a laboratory, and wizard must brew m potions in order. Each portion has a mana capacity and must pass through all the wizards sequentially to brew it properly. And the time taken by the ith wizard on the jth portion is time at ij, which is scale at I into mana at j. Since the brewing process is a delicate, a portion must be passed to the next wizard immediately after the current wizard complete their work. This means the timing must be synchronized so that each wizard begins working on portion exactly when it arrives. So we have to return the minimum amount of time required for the portions to be brewed properly. So this is what we have given in the example. As you can see, let me zoom out. Okay, so we have given two things, the skill and mana we have given, and we have returned the minimum amount of time. This is the minimum amount of time for the portion to brew properly. Okay, as you can see, these are the portions, these are the time, and if we will apply based on the times, let's suppose it start the portion at 0 and its start time is 0. So wizard is initially is we got is a 5. Okay, so when wizard 1 is done, it is becoming 30, right? And in wizard 2 is done, it is become 40. Wizard 3 done, it become 60. Like that it will keep moving ahead, and we will, once these wizards are done, we will get 110. And how this is happens, it's written here. We'll understand how this works, and we'll try to understand. Let's go to the slide. Very first, think of like these people, right? They are working in a wizard, they are preparing some labs. Let's suppose the very first person is completed his wizard, he is working in the lab, let's suppose. So once he is completed, he'll move these things to the next guy. So next guy is completing, and then the next guy is completing. Like that it will keep moving ahead, and they can make the brewing. Okay, so once they done their job, right, the finally we have to prepare this wizard, what is the minimum time will happen that we have to return. Okay, so you can say the wizard is nothing but a workshop where or you can say it's a factory assembly line, we can say that. So think of the problem like a factory that makes portions. So each portion has to pass through multiple stations, right? Like we can say wizard 1, wizard 0, wizard 1, wizard 2, and so on, we can say that, right? So each wizard is equal to one station or worker on the production line, we can say. There can be a machine who is working on, robot who is working on, anything is possible, right? So each wizard is nothing but a station or a worker, okay, on the production line. So this is in the production line, they are preparing, they're building, they are assembling the things. Okay, we can say that. So this is the brew thing, so we can say okay, they are preparing the brew. So each portion is nothing but one item that is being made. So this is a portion that they are making, they have in the hand, right? This is called portion, means one item that is made, right? So and a wizard is a station or a worker on the production line. So these are the workers in the wizard, right? So each wizard have a person, people, we can say. So this is the picture of one wizard. There can be multiple wizards, right? Then they can work together, right, on a production line. So each portions that the one item is being made is say okay, every person must go through all the wizards. So there can be multiple wizards, like the group of people will be there, they will work on that, right? So every person must go through all the wizards one by one in an order. Okay, so you can say, let's suppose, imagine a car company is there, right, who assemble the car. right? So very first station, let's suppose the one station is there. Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me get the pen in here. Okay, so let's suppose there is a station. Okay, there is a station, we call this station 0. Here in station 0, there is a group of people are there, okay, who install the engine, you can say, okay, who install the engine at station 0. Then it goes to next station, that is called station 1, we can say that, right? So station 1, what will happen? When it install the car, it paints the car. Can we say that? It paints the car. And here install the car, install the engine of the car. When it is done, we'll say station 3 is there. So station 3 checks the electronics. Okay, once they check the electronics, then it will move to the next business next station, and this station is nothing but S4, we can say. Here we perform a final inspection. Okay, so these are the different stations are there. In the very first station, station 0, install the car engine, then it install the then it paints the car, then checks the electronics, and then in the next station we can say it perform the final inspection. So as you can see, each station takes a certain time, right? Because if let's suppose time, this is time 0 takes, time 1 takes, time 2 takes, and time 3, and these times are nothing but the interval of time, right? So depending on the station, that takes time depends on how complicated the car is. If the car is more complicated, maybe the engine time will take more time, maybe the painting will take more time if the car is bigger one, and so on, we can say that, right? So the in this real world, this is what we can say. We'll say, okay, assembling the car is nothing but a factory assembling, and this is nothing but a we can say wizard shop, we can say wizard workshop, we can say that, right? Wizard workshop. So this is our wizard workshop, right? Where we can say, and this wizard workshop is nothing but we can say also what? A factory assembly line. So before understanding anything, right, you should understand what the problem is saying that, right? So this is what we can say. So these stations are nothing but a wizard, right? This is a wizard, it's kind of wizard. These stations are kind of wizard, right? Where worker on the production line, they install the car engine, similarly they paints the car, and similarly we do the other things as we have seen. And this car is nothing but a portion. Okay, so we'll say, okay, here each wizard, let me write another in the next video. Okay, let's say, so we'll say each wizard is nothing but what? One station that we have seen, or what we can say that this is nothing but a worker on production line. Can we say that? And each portion is nothing but what? This is one item that is being made, right? Can we say that? So we have to say every portion, not portion, this portion, every portion must go through all the wizard one by one in order. Can we say that? And that is why I call this as a wizard workshop, right? Or you can also say a factory assembly line, right? Where we have seen the station that install the car engine, it paints the car, it checks the electronics stations and perform the final inspection with the different wizards, right? I hope you understand the problem. Let's continue. So now we'll say each station takes a certain times depending on how complicated is this, right? So we have the skill at I, we can say that, of a wizard, right? So skill of I of a wizard is what is, we'll say, how long a station takes to do its job. Can we say that? We can say that. And this is nothing but the skill of wizard, right? Let's talk about the mana, right? What is mana? So mana at, let's call the at j of a portion, right, of a portion is what? We'll say how complex that portion, or in this example we'll say car, is. Correct? Can we say that? So can I say, if we know the skill, we know the mana, right, we can say, we can find the time, the time to process that portion, a portion at that station is nothing but skill at I into mana, we can say mana at j. Can we say that? Right? This is what it is saying the question, right? So the time we can find is, you have to find, you know, the skill and the mana, right? This is the same as, it is a same as, we can say, if we want to find the time, is equal to workers speed into task difficulty. Can we say that? Isn't it same, right? It's same, right? If you want to find the time, we'll say worker speed is that nothing but the skills at I, and the mana is nothing but the task difficulty. I'm correct, right? So can I say, okay, what will be the rule, right? Okay, we'll say, okay, the rule, or the, we can also say the key constant, right? What is the key constant? Constants. Okay, we can say, okay, the rule and the key constant. So as we know, each person must move from one wizard to the next, right? Means we have seen from 0 to S1 and so on, we have moved, right, till the inspection is done. So each person must move from where? One wizard to the next wizard, one station to the next stations, right? How? Immediately, because we need to find the time, right? So like a car moves from one station to another station to the next factory line, right? We can say that. So but a wizard can only work on one portion of time, right? So as I told you, this station will work on time t, right? It cannot move on another time. So once a wizard can only work on one portion of time, right, of a time. So the portion 1 can't reach the wizard 1 while it's still in busy with the portion 0, right? That is why we need to schedule the time carefully here, right? So our goal is to find how long it takes until the wizard finishes the last portion. So we have to find the exact time, how long it takes until the last wizard finishes the last portion, right? So when the workshop a factory is done all the portions, you have to find it. I hope you understand this example. If you still have doubt, let me know in the comment section. Okay, so let's try to understand through the example. Okay, very first thing that we have given the example one. Okay, and we have seen the example one. We have something like we have a skill, right? And this skill is nothing but we can say in the array we have given is 1, 5, 2 and 4. Okay, so if we'll say that this is our skill that we have given, right? And we have given is mana also, right? So mana we also have given in the array, right? And we'll say okay, mana is 5, 1, 4 and 2. So two things we have given, skill and mana. And what is our goal? Our goal is to find minimum total time when until the last wizard finishes the last portion. And we say that means we have given a skill is 1, 5, 2, 4, mana is 5, 1, 4, 2, and we have to find the minimum total time until the last wizard finishes the last portion. Can we say that? We can say that, right? Let's try to write what we have given. Okay, very first we have given is wizard, we have given skill, we have given, and let's talk about what the meaning is here. Okay, if the wizard is 0, let me write like this. If okay, so if wizard is 0, skill is 1. Okay, it means when wizard 0, skill is 1, means it's a fast, right? Can we say that this is the fast because it takes 1 into mana time? Can we say that? Means it takes 1 into mana time, and so the skill is good 1. Let's talk about wizard at 1. We have skill is 5. It is, if 1 is fast, the 5 should be what? 5 should be slow. So we'll say okay, it is a slow because it takes what it takes? It takes 5 into mana time, and that is why it is slow. Can I say at wizard 2, if it takes 2, means it's fast or slow? It's a medium. I'll give it's a medium, means it takes medium time. So this is what the meaning of the given problem is. Okay, means when we talk about what we have given wizard, and these are the skills we have given. In here, if you suppose we have given something we have given is, let's call 3, right? And here we have given is 4. Okay, so when wizard at 3 is here, we have is 4, right? Then when 4 is there, means what? This is also come in the medium, right? But it's also slow, so we'll say medium slow. Okay, let's talk about if we have a portion. So previously we have seen the wizard. As you can see, we have wizard. Now think what we have, the mana. So this is not the skill, but this is mana, and we'll understand the meaning. Okay, so let's suppose this is what we have given. Okay, so very first I'll say okay, portion is 0, So mana will be what? Mana will be 5. And so the meaning is what? It's very complex. Can I say? When portion is 0, right? Mana is 5. So it is very complex because it takes a lot of time. 5, right? When we say portion is 1, mana is 1. It means it's easy. We are talking about the difficulty, right? Means when we talk about the portion and based on the mana, right? So when we completed this portion, right? What is the mana? If mana is coming more, it means it's fast, it's easy or complex, right? We will say. Let's talk about when we have portion 2, the mana is nothing but 4. In this case we'll say, okay, this is a medium and hard because it's take time. When we talk about 3, let's take mana is 2. It means it's a moderate complex, right? This is the meaning we should understand before solving the problem. So when you are going for the interview, if you see this kind of problem, your the problem statement should be mapped like this, so you can explain easily. You will say, okay, when we add at wizard 0, the skill takes 1, a skill is 1, it means it's a fast, right? Because it takes 1 mana time. Similarly, if you say, okay, the portion is given for the portion 0, if mana is 5, means it's very complex. If it is 1, it's very easy. Okay, like that you have to think and then you have to explain. So let's suppose we have let's suppose the what you call the time formula. Okay, time formula. Okay, so very first we are going to understand time formula. So I'll say time taken by wizard. Okay, and the wizard is, let's suppose, is I. For portion j will be, we'll say we have a skill at I into mana at j. Can we say that? If we can say that, we'll say, okay, so let's call, we have a wizard, right? And we'll say, okay, we have the wizard we have, and we'll say the portion, right? So let's take both here. Okay, portion here. Okay, if wizard is 0 and here skill is equal to 1, right? Skill is 1. Give me 1 second. Okay, so when we'll say wizard, let's say portion. Okay, if at 0 skill is equal to 1, can we say that? Here if we'll say, okay, we have portion here is 0 also and mana is 5, right? In this case, if we'll multiply skill 1 with the mana, what we will get? We'll get 5. Correct? Can I say that? We can get it, right? Let's talk when we have at 1, right? We have mana is here and the mana is 5. Wizard at wizard 1, right? Mana is 5, but we'll say, okay, skill as 1. So 1 into 1 is nothing but what? We'll get 1. When we take it's 2 and mana is what? Mana is 4, right? Similarly, we'll say, okay, now let me clean some of them. You have to rewrite again. Okay, let me rewrite again. Okay guys, So let's suppose we have 0 and the mana is nothing but 5. Sorry. When we'll say there is a portion and the mana is, again I'm writing the full, so mana is here is, let's call 1. Okay, similarly we have, when we talk about 2, mana is 4. When we talk about 3, mana is equal to 2 we can take. Okay, so this is what we have given in the example. As you can see, 5 1 4 2. Okay, so I have also taken like this so we can understand easily. Okay, now think, when the skill is 1, mana is 5, so 1 into 5 will get is what? Will get 5, correct? Here 1 into 1 will get 1, 1 into 2 will get 2, 1 in 4 is here, right? So 1 into what you call 4 is become 4 here, and 1 into 2 is 2 here, correct? Similarly, for if this is 1, the skill is 5, then we have 2, skill is 2, and 3, what was there? 4. Okay, so s equal to 4. This is what we have given. Okay, let's talk about when we have 5. So 5 into 5 is 25, right? Let's calculate directly one by one. Then we have 2 into 5 is 10, and 4 into 15 is 20. Then similarly we'll multiply with this one, so it will become 5 2 4, because m is equal to 1. We have 4, so we have to multiply. We'll get 4 20 8 16. Here is 2, multiply with the 1 into 2 is 2, and 5 into 2 is 10, then we become 4, and then 8. Okay, so this is what we will get once we'll use the time formula. And using the time formula, we have to take the time which will be taken by wizard I for the portion j, skill at I into mana at j, you will get this value like this. Okay, so you have the time like this. So we can say, okay, if we want to represent the timeline, right? If we want to represent a timeline horizontally, right? So each block shows how long the wizard works on a portion, right? So each portion must move from wizard, will say, okay, wizard 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, one after that, right? One after the others. Can we say that? So when we'll say, okay, wizard 0 start immediately at t equal to 0, right? Means the wizard 0 having portion, will say the portion at 0 is from 0 to 5. Can we say that? Similarly, for wizard 1, the portion I'll write here is for this for wizard itself, right? Not for this one, we can say. Okay, so wizard, so the portion become is 5 to 6, right? And for the portion, this become what? 6 to 10. It become portion 6 to 10, and for this is become portion is from 10 to 12. We'll say portion. Okay, so as we can see, I'm just talking about these portions. I'm talking about only for the not for these wizards, only for the wizard 0. Okay, where we have this time. So when we talk about wizard 0, these are the portions will be there. These portions, this portion, these portions. So not, I think representation is wrong. Let me rewrite again. I think these portions is wrong. What we can do, we'll say for each portions we can represent like this. Okay, so what we can say for wizard 0, right? For wizard 0 we can say the portion from 0 to 5 is there. Then we'll say for the portion, next portion will become what? For portion 1, this is portion 0, then will be portion 1, right? So when we talk about the portion 0, it will become 0 to 5. Then portion 1 we can say is from 5 to 6. When we say portion 3, it become what? 10 to 6 to, for the portion 2, right? 6 to 10 we can say. Portion 3 will become what? Is 10 to 12, right? So each wizard we can get the value like this. Okay, so for wizard 0, the portion 0 we have is 0 to 5, like that we can say, because wizard 0 start immediately at where? At t equal to 0. Can we say that? So wizard 0 is completed at where? So we'll say wizard 0 starts immediately at t equal to 0, right? But it completes at t equal to 12, right? Because it's 12, right? So we have to use this time formula, and then we'll say, okay, based on this, it's completed, right? So this is what we have completed. Let's talk about when wizard add 1. So we'll say wizard 1 timeline. Okay, so wizard 1 takes what? Takes 5 into longer per portion. So they get busy longer. Okay, so wizard 1 will say, okay, the portion will become from where? The portion is from 5 to 30. So it took 25. So we'll say, okay, the portion must start when wizard 1 is free. And when it is free? At 30. So we can't only say it is 50 but 30, because we can only start one portion which reaches at wizard 1, right? Portion 1 reaches at wizard 1, right? And that is at 30. But the portion 1 reaches wizard 1 at t equal to 6, right? If you see here, it reaches where? When it's completed the 5, means when wizard 1 reaches, the t is equal, the time is what? At 6, right? So it wait until wizard is free. So when wizard 1 is free, so wizard 1 is free when t equal to 30. So the portion 1 takes what? So we'll say portion 1 takes t equal to 30, but actually it takes 5 into 1, which is 5, and so if you compute the whole time, it becomes 3. So it finishes at t equal to 35. The wizard 1. Okay. Similarly, you will take portion 2, which finishes at t equal to 10, right? It will move until the next value, like that. It will keep moving ahead, and you will calculate like this, right? Okay. So if we say for the wizard 1, from 0 to 5 we get at 30 it's completed. When we call 1 to 30, it will complete at 35. When we say 2 to 35, it completed 35. 3 to 55, it completes at 65, like this. Because when we talk about the portion 1, right, it's completed at t equal to 6, right? T equal to 6, and it waits until wizard 1 is free. That is why we got t equal to 30. So the portion, we are talking about the portion 0, right? When we talk about portion 1 into 5, right? Or you can say 5 into 1, so it finishes at t equal to 35, right? Portion 2 we are talking about means we have is when t equal to 10, right? But the wizard is still busy until it finishes 35, right? So it takes 35. Okay, so let's finish at 35 itself. Okay, when we talk about the wizard 3, portion 3 at wizard 1, it let's suppose there is some time t equal to 12 this time will take. Okay, so it must wait until 55, and so it start between 55 to 65, so it takes t equal to 10. So this is what we can say. It means if we say wizard 1, it finishes at 65, t equal to 65. Okay, similarly you can find the wizard 2 and so on. So you have seen that this way it's very complicated, and it's really not optimal way, because we have to do manually, right? So how we will solve this type of problem? So we start the portion 1, right, too early at t equal to 5, right? We have seen, right, t equal to 5. So notice that wizard 1 is, or you can say was, idle for long time waiting for the portion 1 to arrive, right? So if we delay the portion 1 start a bit, right, we can reduce the idle gap downstream. So the goal is to shift portion start time so that no wizard is waiting unnecessarily. So no portion is blocked after optimizing the algorithm, right? Algorithm, if you compute automatically, right, what you need to do, let's see how we are going to, after optimization will do. So let's say we have optimized, right, after optimizing. So previously is not optimal, that we have seen till now, right? But after optimizing, let's suppose as a algo compute automatically, right? Let's suppose we have given is portion, we have start time, and we have finish time, finish last wizard. Okay, so can I say the portion is 0, 1, 2, 3? This is what we have. Portion 0 start at 0, right? And the time is, let's suppose, finishes at 60, the very initial. Then 1 is completed at 52, which finishes at 64. When we talk about 2, which is finishes at 54, we are getting 102. When we talk about portion 3, which is finishes, start time is 64, but is finishes at 1110, right? So now all the pipeline flow perfectly. There is no idle waiting time. Okay, so when we think like this, right, that the portion when it start, when it finishes, right, so there is no waiting time, right? So when there is no idle waiting time, obviously we will get the minimum time, right? So the minimum time in this case, let's suppose we are getting is totally is 110, right? So we have to think like something like this, right? Means let's suppose if we have a wizard and the wizard is 0, 1, 2, 3, then we have the portion 0, which is from 0 to 5. Let's suppose between we have 5 to 30, we have 30 to 40, then we have 40 to 40, like that. When we have portion 1, we'll say it is 50 to 53, then 53 to 58, 58 to 60, 60 to 64. We have portion 2 between 54 to 58, then 58 to 78, 78 to 86, 86 to 102. So these are the finishes time that we are talking about. So 86 to 88, 88 to 98, and 98 to 102. Then we have 102 to 110, and when we talk ends at, when it's end at, we'll say is 88 98, 102 and 1110, right? That is which is our answer. Okay, so the earliest possible time when the wizard 3 finishes at the last portion, right, is 1110. So this was our answer was coming, right? So if we will talk about like this, we have to think about in the concept of wizard, and all the portion when it start, when it finishes, so we have to think accordingly. Okay, I hope you understand here. Let's understand the code, how to implement it. So very first, as you can see, we have given meantime, we have given skills, we have, and mana we have, right? So very first you will find an nm, and then for the all the skills, right, you will find the skills and you will find the sum of the skill. Okay, then we will find the previous wizard done, you know the skill, and you will find with respect to the initial time. Okay, then for you have to process each value, right? So you have to take the wizard done previously, right, and you have to check backward conditions through the skills at I+1 and mana j-1. So you will find the previous done. Then you will find the candidate value if we shift the current position earlier wizard. So you will find the previous value, then you will find the skill into mana, and you will completely find the candidate. So now you have to find the max value so that we can find the last wizard finish time. Okay, and then you have to process the, you will multiply this value and you have to add into the previous wizard value, so you can get the previous completed value, and you will keep having the value for the current value, and then you will return the previous wizard done value for each skill. This is what we have in this video, guys. If still have any doubt, let me know in the comment section. It's very easy problem, and I'll share this code into the comment box. Thank you for watching this video. Please write the time complexity as well as complexity in the comment box.